Folks, get Nina to Washington. All right, so we know Nina Turner's been doing an excellent job of campaigning. There's a lot of milestones that have been reached. Most recently, after Hillary Clinton came out in support of one of her rivals, the Nina Turner campaign had a fundraising mega night, folks. We're talking about raising nearly $200,000, over 4,000 donors, many of which were new to the campaign, with an average contribution of only $27. So that's great. Thanks, Hillary, for your support. May it continue. I mean, Hillary's a smart lady. She knows that Nina Turner's going to get a bump in donations. The reason why Hillary Clinton comes out and supports a rival candidate is because she's sending a signal to dark money interests and PACs to send money to the rival. Because she knows the people aren't supporting her challenger. Nah, not the people, but the corporations and the super PACs. So that's why, guys, before we go any further, I need you to go to ninaturner.com and continue to support her. Donate with your time or with your treasure if you can. Now, a couple days ago, there was an event held online.
Okay. Ms. Turner, could you talk a little bit more about, to say Medicare for all? What in your mind is the ideal? What does that involve?
The ideal is to make sure that everybody in this country has health care. I mean, it is really asinine that in the wealthiest country on the face of the earth, we're debating about whether or not people deserve, and saying that somebody would vote for it if it came to the floor versus leading on it is two different things. 1 million people in the great state of Ohio lost their employer-sponsored health care. But the pandemic has shown it ripped away all of the doubt about having a commodified healthcare system. And because we're the wealthiest country on the face of the earth, we should ensure we are the only industrialized nation that does not have some type of universal healthcare. And when Medicare for all was first envisioned, it was envisioned as a system for all. No more copays, no more deductibles, no more premiums. And no one suffers the most than the poor, the working poor, and the barely middle class. And we do not have a universal healthcare system that will be able to lift people. And oh, by the way, that type of system also helps businesses too. So it's something that we must do in the United States of America. So we do not have a universal healthcare system that will be able to lift people. And oh, by the way, that type of system also helps businesses too. So it's something that we must do in the United States of America.
Thank you. I do want to ask a follow-up on that. Do you see any role for private insurance in the system?
I mean, for the extra things that people may want beyond, the cosmetic kind of things, but it's not the government will not control the healthcare itself in terms of you will still be able to go to your own doctor. It's just how it is paid for. So it's a misnomer that people won't get a chance to pick their own doctors. They will continue to pick their own doctors. And the system as it were, we're sicker and we pay more as a country. So the employer-based system, the commodification of healthcare does not work in the United States of America. Almost 100 million people are either underinsured or uninsured right now.
That's right. Wow, I don't know, man. I got all my wolf pack in the house, all you Johnsons. You know my support of Nina Turner is very front center. I'm very obvious. We make no bones about that. But to some people that were on the fence, they were like, yo, Tim, does Nina Turner really support Medicare for all? There she is in a debate defending it. Now, his brother Shabazz is on this debate. He also defends it, but everybody else is pretty much Obama-type ACA supporters. So, in a debate for the seat, she's been asked all the Medicare for all questions, and she's defending Medicare for all. Now, those people who were so boldly tweeting to me, she doesn't support it because she put this thing, she said she supports people having health care, but she didn't say Medicare for all that time. Well, she said it somewhere other times, and she said it on her website, and it's in her latest commercial. So I hope this puts it to bed. I don't want to hear this shit no more. If you're not going to trade in facts, man, just leave it alone, man. You don't have to support any candidates. I get it. You don't trust any politicians to do shit. Okay, I get it. Go do some direct actions. Let's do something else. But stop saying Nina Turner doesn't support Medicare for all when it's obvious she does. All right? Nina Turner, she owned this debate. It is what it is.
Ms. Turner, we talked earlier about some of the frustrations and horrible issues that emerged from the pandemic. But what initiatives were either implemented or expanded during the COVID crisis that you think should become a longer-term part of how our nation runs, how it operates?
In terms of the Biden administration's, the COVID relief package which was $1.9 trillion. In that package was the child tax credit. And, parents are going to be receiving relief. And through that, just that one portion of that policy change, cutting childhood poverty in half. Now, the thing about very good, excellent, I definitely support it, but it is temporary. So I would like to see that made permanent, and that we as a nation expand that, because if we can cut childhood poverty in half, we might as well go all the way and cut it 100% and to make sure that that kind of thing is permanent. It also shows, as by way of example, that with that bill, that poverty is a policy choice. So we can make new choices through public policy and eradicate poverty. As the wealthiest nation on the face of the earth, there is absolutely nothing that we cannot do. If we reimagine and really have a willingness for transformation, we can get this done and eradicate poverty in the United States of America.
Booyah. Booyah, booyah. Yeah, that was the part. That was about the earned income tax credit. And look, this is part of something that Nina's been saying for a while. If you follow her on Twitter at Nina Turner, you'll see that she talks about poverty being a policy choice. And this is exactly what she means. Look, if all it took was for Joe Biden and his team, his administration, to say, hey, how can we put more money in people's pockets? Let's be creative. And one way was, what you get at the end of the year, instead of waiting till the end of the year to come, you get it monthly. Look at us, we got an idea. It's an idea that you're gonna get that money back anyway as an earned income credit. Per child is like $300, $300 to $360 or something like that. I forget the exact amount. Depending on the age of the child, you get a certain amount back. You would typically get it at the end of the year. Now you're getting it during the year, and guess what? Oh shit, we're in a pandemic. This might be helpful. This can be very helpful to people. So that's what we're saying, is that these are choices. All you have to do is say, how can we help people? And use policy to do it. And that's all that Joe Biden did, meaning he could do more. He could raise the earned income credit and even pull more children, because some people don't listen to the child part. That was about child poverty. Do I think that we should do more for all people that are living under poverty? Yes. I ain't caping for Joe Biden at all. But what I'm saying is, there are policy prescriptions for these things. And if people want to see changes, we got to make politicians make the changes in the policy and not take no for an answer.
Have a positive effect and reverse some of the decades of deterioration and discrimination in communities of color and low-income communities that have had inferior products and materials installed into our communities. And so we need someone who will be able to be a partner, not a puppet, but a partner, to be able to work with the administration to negotiate, to ensure that we are getting the resources that we need in the 11th Congressional District. And the fact of the matter is, I'm best positioned to do that.
Ms. Turner, what are your thoughts?
Well, it is encouraging to see what the administration is doing. Definitely, the federal government was complicit in creating some of the systemic challenges that we are facing right now. None of these challenges are new. So it is absolutely important that communities of color, particularly African-American community, not only be at the table, but the resources as they are being permeated throughout our community, that those resources are laser focused into making sure that communities of color actually get that they actually get the jobs. I mean, a lot of times when that money is flowing through, the community does not necessarily get a chance to benefit. Once upon a time, and I'm sure that Senator Johnson remembers this, Senator Smith, and probably Representative Barnes too, we had the Fannie M. Lewis law law in the city of Cleveland. And that law, under the leadership of Councilwoman Fannie M. Lewis, was designed to ensure that when tax dollars come through, the people's money comes through, that the residents of the city of Cleveland actually get a chance to benefit through having jobs. I would like to see that kind of law, that kind of policy position be permeated through not only the 11th congressional district, but throughout the country, to ensure that taxpayers' dollars are laser focused on the communities that need them most, not just in the infrastructure, but also in them having the jobs.
Thank you.
Yeah. Black lives matter, but you know what matters just as much? Black jobs matter. White jobs matter too, right? Can I say that? Brown jobs matter. All jobs matter. I'm in trouble. Why I say that? But no, man, if you're running for office, you need to be talking about putting money in people's pockets and put some jobs back in the community. So that's what she's talking about here. Scratch everything I just said because that didn't come out right. But yeah, black jobs matter. And hey, I don't know why you would want to elect an official whose focus was not on the material gains of the people that they want to get the votes from. Some reason they let people run on shit like who's going to use a bathroom or who, social type of stuff. I don't know. Theories and critical race theory is bad for you. People are running on that shit. They're not even running on actual, policy that helps people's lives. And then Turner's whole delivery, whole cadence is just from a position of understanding the issues, confidently and empathetically to the people that it matters most to. So very tough to try to go against, to follow behind Nina Turner comment. And further evidence of Nina Turner's prowess when delivering in these types of forums is what she does right here in her closer.
Nina Turner?
When I think about running for this office, many things enter my mind, but definitely the memory of my mother, who died at a young age of 42 years old with her dreams deferred. Many of you are familiar with the poet Langston Hughes, when he asked a very important question: what happens to a dream deferred? I am running to ensure that the residents of the 11th congressional district, from greater Cleveland to greater Akron, that very few people have to ask that question about what happens to a dream deferred. I have the vision to help to provide provision for the poor, the working poor, and the barely middle class from all walks of life. I do believe, similarly, in the words of Booker T. Washington, that there are two ways of exerting one's strength. One is by pushing down, and the other is by pulling up. You need to have somebody that will lead this community who does have a vision, that understands being a partner does not mean being a puppet, that working with does not mean acquiescing to. So vote for Nina Turner for Congress, ninaturner.com. You will always know whose side I am on. My first, second, third, fourth, and fifth concern are the residents of the 11th congressional districts.
Well, damn. I quit. Nina, you got any jobs? Can I just come work for you? I ain't mean nothing I said. Don't you need somebody to help out around here? Come on now, I'll lock up the place. I can make copies. I mean, that's a kind of a sense of way I felt people were feeling. Don't get me wrong, Senator Johnson, and Senator Smith, formidable. Senator Smith, oh my goodness gracious, man. I'm not going to say it because I'm trying not to be the bad guy, you know what I'm saying? But Senator Smith, you're a bad sister, yo, and you are spot on. She is an MVP player. Now, if you watched my live stream of this event and you watched the whole thing, you know that there is a amazing scene at the very end as Senator Smith calls it as she sees it, or like a T.I. is. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dr. Dooley and Senator Nina Turner on that one. I don't think she lost any ground at all. In fact, I think she gained ground. According to the Cleveland Plain Dealer, with nearly all the 11 congressional district candidates in one room on Wednesday, Nina Turner showed why she's the front runner. And they wrote a glowing article about it, how Nina Turner just killed it, how she represents the way forward for Cleveland according to her performance. So go check that out. That's on the Cleveland Plain Dealer website. Now, a couple more things are coming up that I think are that you want to know about. The first thing is there's a special event. Saturday, okay? It's the Economic Justice Town Hall. And, it's going to be in Cleveland. Saturday, June 26th, Nina's going to be appearing in Cleveland with Killer Mike at a town hall on economic justice, hosted by TYT. And look, all the proceeds go to Rock the Vote. So I encourage you to go try to get a front row seat at that event. Also, remember, go to ninaturner.com to become a part of the campaign. We can't just want change. We got to fight for it. We got to work for it. And we need some people in Congress that are actually there for us to go along with our other actions, other grassroots that we, grassroots actions that we are taking part in, right? Because I believe in inside, outside, right? So whether you are working locally in your community, whether you're working locally in local politics, whether you're participating in direct actions, there are different ways to make an impact, but we cannot leave on the table possibility of legislation that also helps folks, also helps the people. So I support that too. Last thing, early voting starts July 7th. We're getting closer to that time, Johnson. Early voting July 7th. Be a part of it. Getting into Washington.
It's the end of the weekend, but I still wanna turn up. Yeah, I still wanna turn up. All I want is to go again, but you